Hello, good evening, Lou.
Good evening po. Yes.
Okay, so hi, Miss Lou. This is Shirley from ESL 101.
Okay.
This interview will be recorded.
Okay.
Alright, so if you want to know more about our school, you could ask later after the interview.
Okay.
Okay, so let's start. Can you tell me about yourself?
Well, I'm Lourdes Duarte. I'm an early retiree from Texas Instruments, and I'm married, living here in Baguio City, and I have had a little experience in online teaching Vietnamese students, but it's not in my application. I did not add that because it only lasted for like 2 weeks. And I am interested in going into the ESL because I've seen it online through some ESL groups, and I thought maybe I could do it like since it's home based, not necessarily having to go out of the house. So that's what kind of made me decide to try this one.
Okay. So, why did you decide to apply in our school?
I was looking for an ESL school that I could, what do you call this, relate with. And I have seen your website, and it kind of goes with what I have in mind. That's why I picked it.
Alright. So, do you think you are an introvert or extrovert?
A mix, I think.
So, how long have you been teaching, Lou?
um, Online, I've had like, if it's offline, it was like 3 months, and then online, it only lasted like for 2 weeks, and then I had to quit.
Why? Why did you quit teaching Vietnamese students?
Because the, what do you call this, the manager tried to micromanage the class, and my student was already in a panic mode, not knowing what to do, and they bungled the schedule up. They didn't know what they did with the schedule, and they thought I should not be having a class, but my schedule says I should be having a class with the student, and I could not reply to my student even when she was texting or sending me messages like what's going on, because they stopped the class. And to me that is kind of rude, if you're a teacher, you're not supposed to be doing that, especially if it's a kid. She's a 9-year-old kid. So I had to leave. I told them I had to leave because I could not work with them, not with that kind of attitude. That's it.
What is your best asset as a teacher?
Hmm. I think I can communicate well with people, with students. I've been doing well so far with my students, and I really felt guilty leaving them, but I could not work with a manager in the school.
What is the most important characteristic a teacher should possess?
It's having empathy and understanding of the plight of the student. They want to learn, that's why they enroll. And your job is to help them to attain their goal. If you don't have that kind of relationship with your students, they wouldn't learn from you, I think.
Okay. Now, how do you measure students' learning level?
Um, usually, at the end of the day, like I have to make a report about their progress and see if they really learned the lesson by asking them if they have any question about the lesson for that day, and then that's about it.
How do you deal with student who has behavior problems in class?
I have not had that kind yet, but I guess the parent is always there to, what do you call that, rein them in if they get rowdy or something. But I haven't had that kind of experience yet.
Okay, so you never experienced this yet.
Yeah.
But what do you do when a student doesn't understand the lesson? Oh, how do you deal with students with learning difficulties?
Well, if the student, for example, is not paying attention, say perhaps I could stop the lesson and talk about something else that interests the child or the student and ask what's wrong. Maybe he's bothered by something else other than the lesson, which is why there's no, concentration there. Maybe he's having a problem with his parents too. So the best thing is to stop the lesson for a while and ask him if anything is bothering him. And I think once I get to know the problem, then I can slowly direct the lesson back to the lesson proper.
Okay. So how do you rate yourself in terms of using technology?
I'm not too techy. I'm still learning new stuff, but with the 2 weeks of experience doing it online, I think I can do it. We use PDF, in giving lessons
Mm-hmm.
and teaching.
What are your expectations in our school?
I'm kind of looking forward to teaching adults. In my offline teaching before, my students were actually professionals, adult students, and this online thing, it's a mix. I had like 55 years old down to 9 years old. It's a mix.
Okay. What else? What are your other expectations?
Um, I'm expecting to be teaching one-on-one. That's for sure. Not for groups. I don't think I could do groups. It's just for one-on-one.
Okay. Because there are times we do handle group classes.
Oh, oh. I don't think I can handle group classes because I'm still, you could say, beginner or a newbie. So I would be better off doing one-on-one classes.
Okay.
I think I leave that to the pros, the professional teachers.
Okay, it's gonna be tough though.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
So most likely that's one. And okay, so what contribution can you give to our school?
My desire, I would say my desire to really help the student to learn to speak in English. Um, It is so, what do you call this, strong that if I could go over the time, which I usually did, I lose track of the time because I was so intent on teaching that I lose track of time. That's how passionate I am in teaching. You know, you want to get your message across to the students and you don't bother about the time, but I understand that it has to be regulated. I understand that. I could give my best, the best that I can in trying to get my students to learn. And if the student learns from me, and that is something that money can't buy. You know, it's just a personal thing.
Give me a reason why we should hire you.
Hmm. Because I have the passion to teach. It's not just for the money for me. Which is why I was able to quit in the other thing, in the other school.
Yeah,
It's not about the
okay.
money for me. It's about getting across your intention, you know, helping out the child,
Mm-hmm.
helping out the student, and that's about it. It's all about
Mm-hmm.
helping out. Of course, there's monetary equivalent because you have to pay your internet and so on, but that's not what I'm in it. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
not why I am in it. It's for personal development, and I think that even if I am retired, I can still contribute something good to
Yeah, right.
somebody. Who knows? That's my intention.
Okay. Alrighty, I got your point. So, well, but then you missed, I mean, you said you're not okay with group class, right? Yeah, I know.
Done it yet. I have seen a video, but I have not done it yet, and I don't know how I will
Yeah.
fare without it.
So, for the meantime, I parked your application because as much as I want to hire you, we wanted to make sure that the teacher that we'll be hiring is automatically, capable of doing that with a lesser training, because right now we actually wanted a teacher who could, versatile or could already handle that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I understand. So it's more of, the experience thing that I'm looking here for now. Yeah.
Okay.
But then thank you so much for the, interest of applying our school, Lou. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for giving me the time to.
Yeah.
For the
Well,
interview.
thank you too. Yeah. Alrighty. So, do you have any questions for me? Okay.
Not for now. I.
Okay. Well, thank you too. Well, if in case, if you know someone else who are capable of that, or qualified, you can definitely, send me a message, or you could advise them to send me a message, though. Yeah. Because I'm also from Baguio, that's why I really wanted to, as much as possible, I wanted to hire teachers from Baguio. In that way, it's easier to meet them, and because since we're just doing it online, so sometimes it's hard, right, to having communication. So it's better if you're near or close with your employees. So, all right, okay, thank you, ma'am, and have a great evening. Thank you. Good night. Bye now.
Right.